In this module, we'll talk about functions in C. So what is a function? A function is a block of statements that perform a specific task. A group of statements are put together and we give them a name. That name is the function. Let's say we are calculating the sum of two numbers at multiple places, or we are reading the temperature from a sensor at multiple places. In such cases, we have two options. Either we use the same set of statements every time we want to perform the task. Like let's say there are 10 statements that are required to read the temperature sensor. So we write the exact same statements every time we want to read the temperature sensor. Or we group the statements together, we give it a name, we create a function to perform the task, and every time we need to read the temperature, we just call that function. The option B, to create a function, is a very good practice while writing codes. Why do we need functions in C? Well, it improves the readability of the code. It improves the reusability of the code. So the same function can be used in the same program multiple places or by other programs. So we don't have to write the same set of statements again. We just copy that function or include it in the other program where we want to use it. Debugging becomes easier when we have functions. So let's say we have some problem with the value that we get through reading the temperature sensor. In that case, we know that we have to look into that particular function where the statements to read the temperature sensor were grouped together. It also reduces the size of the code. Instead of writing the 10 statements at multiple places, we are writing it only at one place and we are calling those statements by calling the function. What are the types of functions? There are two types of functions in C. One is the predefined standard library functions, such as the printf statement that we use. Then there are others like putS, getS. These are the functions which are already defined in header files like stdio.h. The second one is the user-defined functions. These are the functions that the programmer creates. In this module, we'll look into the user-defined functions. Let's take an example of this program which you are seeing on the screen. What we are doing in this program is, we are taking two numbers, n1 and n2, and we are calculating the sum of those two numbers. Here in this program, we'll see the multiple aspects related to a function, that is the function prototype, the function definition, the function call, the function arguments. Let's first look into the function prototype. So this statement which you see here in the red box is called the function prototype. In the function prototype, we tell the compiler that there is a function called add numbers. This is the name of the function. There is a function called add numbers which has two arguments. The ones that we mention inside the brackets are called arguments. We are also telling the compiler that the data type of the arguments is int and int. The return type of the function is integer. And the syntax is, we write the return type, we write the function name, and inside brackets we write the arguments. So for the arguments, we mention the type of the argument, that is integer, character or float, and then the argument name. Next we have is the calling of a function. So now that we have told the compiler that we have a function called add numbers, somewhere in the program we are going to call it. So let's say in this statement we are writing sum equals to add numbers n1 and n2. n1 and n2 are taken as inputs from the user. So this is called a function call. This is the place where the function is called. So once this function is called, the execution jumps from this statement to here. This is where we have defined the function. We'll look into the definition a moment later. This is where the statements were supposed to get executed. The statement of a plus b, but instead we clubbed it in a function and we are calling that function here. So when we call a function, the execution jumps from this point to the place where the function is present. Then we have the function definition. The function definition is where we write the code or the block of the code to be executed. Here we are declaring a variable int result, and we are calculating result equals to a plus b, and then we are returning the result. So when we return the result, see what happens. First, when we call the function, the execution jumps from this point to this point. Then it starts executing line by line. And when we return it, the value is sent back to the place where it was called from. So it is returning the result. Result is a plus b. The function was called here. It jumps, the execution jumps here. It calculates the result and returns the result here. So sum will be equal to the value of result. Now passing arguments to a function. So you see here, this n1 and n2 are the arguments, and a and b are also arguments. n1 and n2 are called the actual parameters or actual arguments. They are the actual values which are to be passed. A and b are called the formal arguments or formal parameters. So when we call a function and we pass arguments to it, the values get mapped to it. So whatever is the value of n1, say the value of n1 is 5 and n2 is 10. So the value of 5 will get stored in A and 10 will get stored in B. Two new memory locations are assigned for A and B when the function is called. 5 is stored in A, 10 is stored in B, and then we have the execution of the result equals to A plus B. So A is now holding 5, B is now holding 10. So result is equals to 15, and then the result is returned. So the result comes here, which is sum equals to 15, and thus sum gets the value 15. There is one thing to note here, that the argument type should be same, the type of the actual and the formal arguments. If n1 is integer, A should also be integer. If n2 is integer, B should also be integer. If n2 is character, B should also be character. And we also have to match the number of arguments. The number of actual arguments must be equal to the number of formal arguments. Otherwise the compiler will give us an error saying that it does not recognize the function. So we already discussed about the return statement. The result which is returned gets stored in place of this. So 15 now becomes the value that is getting stored in sum. It's like we are calling this function, we are giving it two values to work on. The function works on those values and it throws back the result, and we are supposed to hold it. So we are holding it in this variable called sum. The type of value returned by the function is decided by this return type which we have mentioned here, that is int. If we mention character, it expects us to return a type character. If we don't mention anything, by default the return type is int. In case we don't want to return anything, we mention void here, which means we are not returning anything. So if we don't want to return anything, always mention void, otherwise by default it will take integer. Let us see the use of functions with the help of an example in a program.